Hi guys, in the garage with the beast. It's back. Fair bit of new stuff, fair bit of different stuff. Let's run through it. Righto, so new clutch, not too bad. It's done 130 odd thousand Ks. I put a new horn on it. The other one died. What else? Carby was tuned, new tyres, Midas EO7s front and rear. They're a good tyre. I got, when I travelled around Australia last year, I got 14,000 Ks on them. What else? New chain, front and rear sprocket. Oh, new chain guard. It had bloody broken, so I got a second handy one of them. And that's about all. As far as other stuff goes, I have got a new iPhone. I've got a new quad lock now. I used to have the RAM mount up there, but it was blocking me speed a bit too much, so now I've got a quad lock. New drone, Mini 3. I've got a new GoPro. Yeah, what else? Oh, I've got all new wet weather gear. And that's about it. So in the side bags here, these two down here, they're 7 kilos each. Looks more, but they're not. They're just tools and tubes and spare bags and first aid kit and stuff like that. This stuff that I've got hanging off here, and you'd think it flaps around, doesn't move at all. Just a beanie, a jacket if I get cold of a day, a little spade there if I've got to go to the toilet, me cup. Swimmers, so if I stop and have a swim, I don't have to unpack all my shit. I can just put a pair of swimmers on. Fresh undies in there as well. If I go shopping, I've got a bag there that folds back to a backpack. Chamois for me tent and for me visor. That's how I wipe my visor now, just with a chamois. I don't carry any chemicals, just a 2-hard basket. And a towel, new towel I got. And I've got a fly that goes over my tent, which we'll show you one day. And on this side here, I've got my wet weather gear. One thing I have changed is that I used to have 3 bags. There was one there, and one up there. And I've changed it all into this waterproof, heavy Caribou bag. It's 120 litre, I think. 120 litre, and it holds everything. As I said, I've got my sleeping bag, my kitchen, and stuff that I use on a daily basis, chain lube and stuff like that, and a few little tools if I've got to do any little maintenance opposed to changing the tyre. I've got to go into them guys there. I've also put a square bit of foam in there, so when I'm riding, I lean back against it. That's the beauty of having a little bit of room there. You lean back on that and it's just like sitting in a seat. As I've said many times before, I done 40,000 Ks last year, and my back and that didn't get sore at all. I had similar setup last year. Another thing that I've got at the back here, this thing with holes in it, I just put that outside my tent of a night. So when I get up in the morning or I go to the toilet of a night, I'm not walking on wet grass, and I can, put my boots and stuff on it as well. Also in my tank bag, I've taken my drone out. I've got some gloves, extra drone battery, and some pills if I get a headache, which doesn't happen real often, but better to be safe than sorry. So overall I'm carrying about 30 odd kilos of gear, 35 kilos of gear, which seems a lot, but a pillion's 50 odd, so it's not that much. This is the back bag opened up. So I've got a blower-upper, if that's such a word, for me airbed. That's my airbed. That's a Climate V static bed. The last one, all the seam broke and lifetime warranty, so they give me a new one. And that's the most important thing on the whole trip, is me pillow. I've tried, I would say without exaggeration, 5-6 pillows, and I've gone back to a foam pillow from Spotlight. 1 day's clothes, 2 days clothes, swimmers, so when I get to the campsite I change into shorts, toiletry bag, some pegs, a fan for me tent. That is a bloody rip snorter. I've got a little battery thing, a smaller one than that somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it's there somewhere. And this is a fan that I brought that runs on USB. And I plug it in and it goes all night. And it keeps me cool. Toiletry bag and just a bit of odds and ends. And the laptop I sit in a bag up in there. Does it bounce around? Probably does a bit, but didn't hurt it last year. So I've got a tool tube down the bottom there. It's a bit dark in the shed now. Shut the door. That's just all my tyre levers and a big breaker and some big sockets for the wheels and stuff. I think it's about the 30th, so I will upload this tonight, and in 2 weeks and 3 days, so I think it's Thursday the 17th, I head to Tasmania. So it'll be a week going down to Tassie. Yeah, there's my trip I done last year. Pretty good, 36,000 Ks, 150 days, 145 days. Oh, I digress again. A week down to Tassie, 21 days on Tassie, or 20 days, and then a week home, and I'll get home Christmas Eve. So keep an eye open for that. On the back here I've got a heavy duty tarpy type thing that I put underneath my tent, and that's why I haven't got any holes in my bed or anything like that, because this is so heavy duty. I did buy a new tent only because I wore the other one out. The bottom was that thin you could see through it. Carry a pair of yellow sunnies. They're really good overnight, and I carry a pair of them. Even though I've got a tinted visor, some days the glare is just insane. GoPro mount in front of the bike. I don't use it for riding. I mainly use it for if I do a time lapse of a night of stars and stuff. I just set it up there like that, and then I just run the cable and it runs all night. So I've got charge. That's about all I got, guys. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got a knife tucked in there just in case I get robbed. Yeah, it stays in there. That's a bit loose, but it does stay in there. I'll have to fix that because I don't want it coming down and cutting my leg or anything. That is about it. That's me walk around, and that's me bike. So 2 weeks and 3 days. So watch out in about 3 weeks, and I'll have a new video up. Further to the video, the gear I take is same as it was last year. Jeans lined with Kevlar. Not gonna make that much difference if I come off, but at least I'm trying. A Bell MX-9, I think it is, helmet. GoPro on top. Cena SMH10 intercom system there. And RST adventure jacket with a water bladder, 2-litre water bladder in the back. Pretty good jacket. It's got zippers and vents and bloody zippers there, and zippers up the arm, and it's not too bad at all. And the boots I use are former boots. They're only the small ones, not the 3/4. They travelled all the way around Australia last year, and the tread on them is still like new. The only thing that did break was one of these little clips here, but that wasn't a drama. They're good boots.